Hey everybody, John Granato and Lance Zierlein from the bench. Mornings here on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Please do that right now. Hey, we've seen a lot of fan feedback saying if Deshaun Watson is dealt, Lance, that a lot of people are giving up on this team. Is there any chance Cal McNair is the new Bud Adams in Houston?
Well, I'd say he's there now. Yeah. I mean, probably a more affable Bud Adams, I guess. Or a less cranky Bud Adams. But, yeah, it didn't take long to get there either, did it? Bud Adams had a lot of wins. Bud Adams had a lot of relative success before he didn't any longer. And I think the things that upset people about Bud Adams is, you remember how it was. He wanted a bunch of money for renovation of the Astros. Then he wanted a brand new stadium. Well, in hindsight, that's the way the league was going. It's just people were pissed off about having to spend a bunch of money on the renovation of the Astrodome and then be asked for money on top of it for a new stadium. The way he left created even more acrimony. Right now, we're getting into a point where you have an owner who just is becoming a laughingstock of Houston sports. I mean, and it's not even, I don't even know if it's a laughingstock. I mean, I feel terrible about it. I feel like, I think this is one of the reasons that Deshaun Watson has a problem right now is he just doesn't think he can trust the owner. And I think you could trust Bob McNair not to let things get out of hand. And I've had people in the building before tell me everything changed when Bob McNair died. That's when Bill O'Brien and Jack Easterby knew they could make their move. And things got a lot more aggressive in the building once Bob McNair passed away. And I think the problem is his son, Cal McNair, really is not fit to be an owner. He doesn't have the same business sense. And, is he the next Bud Adams? Yes, except without a level of success.
Well, he's without a doubt the worst owner we have in the city right now.
Oh yeah,
but he's heading towards worst owner ever, and that's going to be pretty difficult. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, I can't think of anyone more incompetent or unqualified to be. Honestly, He's shown a level of incompetence that I don't know that we've seen before, and maybe in all of sports. Honestly, I mean, obviously Dolan with the Knicks is really, really terrible, and Dan Snyder has been bad. Has been really his level of incompetence has been. But I don't know that there's a parallel for Cal right now. Honestly, this is really, really awful, and it's frightening that this is how. Now, Caserio takes over and does his work, and the coach does his work. Cal steps out of the way, and maybe things will work out. But you got to hope that these guys that they bungled in hiring are actually going to be good at their jobs.
That's the tricky part is this owner, his inaction leads to negative actions of others because he doesn't know what he's doing. Other owners like James Dolan, what I would argue is that Dolan fundamentally doesn't know how to run a team and doesn't have that ability. Of course, Cal doesn't either. I mean, we know that. However, Cal at least is a guy who's not going to overstep and overreach and get his hands in things, but it makes it that much more important that he hired the perfect people underneath him. I mean, it needs to be perfect because if Cal has to step in, I don't know that he knows how to do that or when to do it. So the Nick Caserio hire really has to be good, but that's also what makes the Easterby thing so scary is if he's still in the building, how do we know that things are not going to keep going sideways because he clearly has, control and sway over the owner. If you clean up the people right below Cal, I feel like Cal could just go back to doing whatever he's doing and let football people do football, and maybe we'll be okay. But if you need him to step in and take on a leadership position, I mean, that's clearly
no, ain't doing that. So the difference between the Oilers and the Texans, the Oilers didn't sell out. I mean, the Oilers had a hard time selling tickets, while the Texans are always sold out. Now, if people start going away, now there is a waiting list for season tickets that maybe those people, if these people are going away, maybe these people go away as well.
Yeah.
If they start not selling games out, which they've done every single game that in their existence, this year not is excluded. But if they do that and the corporations start going away as well now, I think now we're going to actually they're actually going to start to feel the pressure.
Yeah. With COVID knocking some people out of the mix in terms of their willingness to spend money or maybe They just can't afford it anymore. I think there's going to be a group of people who maybe didn't miss football this year like they thought they would. There's going to be people who don't have the same income to spend on football. And then you're going to have people who are really disenchanted with this franchise after this season, and especially if Deshaun Watson's gone. You know, it really could. I mean, you could take a big whack out of the fan base who's willing to go spend money on a regular basis to see this product. I think you're going to take a whack out of it this offseason now for a variety of reasons. But how that impacts ticket sales, they may have the sellouts again, but what you may see is that waiting list, and they'd never say this, but that waiting list, as you mentioned, may go, shoo, it may shrink way, way up this year.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you this. Anybody wants to buy my PSL, you're more than welcome. Just call up here to the station. And I've been offering it on the air, and I've got no takers.
What are you selling it for?
Face value.
Oh, out of here.